Hi you guys. Okay, I apologize now if I'm talking really fast, but there's just too much. I've already made this video, I don't even know how many times. But I accidentally deleted it and all this other kind of stuff. So anyways, my infertility appointment today. So, I was really hoping that they would schedule the pregnant people separate from the infertility people. The reason I say this is because the infertility clinic is the same clinic as the OBGYN clinic that they refer the military people to here. It's the same clinic I went to when I had my first prenatal appointment. Basically, you walk in and it's one waiting room, and if you're there because you're pregnant, you go left into OBGYN, and if you're there for infertility, you go right down this other hallway with this huge, I'm not even joking, sign above it that says infertility. It's so mean. Anyways, I get there, and there's all these pregnant people in the waiting room, so clearly they do not schedule them separate. So I go up to the desk, and I give the nurse my military ID, so she looks it up, and I figured this way, I would just hand her my ID, and she could just look up my name, and she'd see why I was there, and she could just give me my clipboard to fill out, and she wouldn't have to say anything, because I didn't want to say why I was there, especially not in front of all these women. It's like, the desk where the women sit is like 2 or 3 feet from where the chairs start, so I hand her my ID, she looks it up in the computer, and she says, seriously, really loud, "Oh, no, honey, I don't give you your clipboard at this desk. You're here for infertility, so you need to go down the infertility hallway, and the second door on the right, she'll give you your clipboard." So I turn around, and of course, all these pregnant people are like, well, they're looking at me, but then of course they all kind of turn away to look like they're not looking at you, but whatever. She was so flippin' loud. So I'm like, whatever. So I have high heels on, so I'm click-clacking in front of all these people down to this hallway, and it's so loud, and they're all looking at me, and it's embarrassing, and whatever. So I go down this hall, and then right when I get to the door, the lady comes out, and she hands me my clipboard, and she's like, "Okay, so you need to fill out all these infertility papers." Seriously, she's loud too. And she's like, "And you can go fill them out in the waiting room." So she sends me back into this sea of pregnant people, and I'm like, thank you. Now that they all know why I'm here. So anyways, we're sitting there, we're filling it out, and we're only halfway done filling it out when she comes back, and she's like, "Are you done filling out your paperwork?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, well, you can just come on back now." So I go back there, they take my vitals, the doctor comes in. So I give her all my history and everything, and she's doing all the calculations, and I told her we had been trying to conceive since 2008, and she's like, "Oh, but you got pregnant in April, and you didn't physically miscarry until September, which means it's only been 9 months since you've been trying since your miscarriage, which technically doesn't put you into the infertility category." She's like, "So they're really not going to take you seriously here because you haven't been trying for more than a year." I'm like, "I've been trying since 2008. I mean, yes, I got pregnant, but it was an unsuccessful pregnancy, I miscarried. It's not like I got pregnant, I had a baby, and now I've been trying again for 9 months. No, I've been trying since 2008, and yes, I got pregnant, but I miscarried. So to me, I have been trying since 2008 and gotten nothing. No baby." But whatever. She said I don't qualify as an fertile person, so they're not going to give me anything for it other than she said that she ordered blood work, so I went and had my I went and had my progesterone tested today, and Neil and I abstained from baby making for 3 days. Well, we weren't really baby making this month, but we didn't do anything for 3 days so that he'd have his junk ready. And she was like, "No," she's like, "You need to schedule and come in for his own separate appointment." I'm like, why? This is where you guys take this stuff. That we were at the place where they take the semen sample, so why can't they just take it? He had it, take it. Wouldn't take it. Whatever. So, we have to schedule another appointment, waste time, and come back down there. And yeah. She's like, "But even to get you considered after you've been trying a year for to be looked at," she's like, "you need to do blood tests," which you've done, semen analysis, which we're going to schedule him for, and you have to have an HSG. She's like, "It's required." She's like, "If you don't do it, then we don't help you," basically. And I was like, that really sucks, because I was actually going to talk to them about not getting it. I don't know, I just don't want to get that test done, but I guess I don't have a choice if I want help. But anyways, so she's like, well, while you're here, let's go ahead and do your pap smear. And I tried to warn this lady before she started that I am the worst pap smear taker ever. I've only ever had it done once at my first prenatal appointment, and I'm horrible at it. It felt like someone shoving gardening shears up into my vagina and just going like that. That's how it felt. And it was super painful, and I hated every second of it, and I just was clenching my legs together, and I remember the lady fussing at me to relax and open them, but I couldn't relax because it was so painful, and me just shouting, ow, ow, ow. I warned her of all this before she started. She's like, you'll be fine. Well, I wasn't fine. She did it again and again. It really, really hurt. And so I was saying ow, and I was squeezing Neil's hand, and I left little moon-shaped marks from my nails, and she was getting irritated with me because I couldn't relax, but it hurt. I mean, you can only tell somebody to relax so much when you're hurting them. I was really trying, but I mean, it hurt. And the nurse was trying to pull my legs apart, and she kept shouting at me, relax, relax, relax. And the doctor kept going, it's hurting because you're not relaxing. If you would just relax, then it would stop hurting, but I can't relax because it's hurting. So you have the nurse going, relax. You have the doctor saying, if you would just relax, it wouldn't hurt. And then you have Neil over here going, because I'm digging into his hand, and I'm going, ow, 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 ow. I mean, it was just a scene. And I could tell she was so beyond irritated with me. But anyways, she got the pap smear. She got it done. And then I got a breast exam, and then afterwards, she's like, okay, you can get dressed. And the nurse was like, oh, aren't you going to do an internal? And she looks at the nurse, she goes, no. Like, did you just see that whole little spoiled brat scene she just did on the table? I'm not going there. Whatever. So I got dressed, she comes back in, and she basically doesn't really, it's just, you're doing this HSG test, call us when you're on your period to schedule it. So she schedules me to go down, get blood work for progesterone. I brought all of my charts from temping so she could see that I ovulate every month. She was just looking at them like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a doctor. I'm not looking at your stupid pieces of paper. That's what I have my tests for. She would not even give them the time of day. She even gave me like such the condescending smile because I started telling her, well, you know, I've been taking my temperature today. And she was like, okay, well, anyways, we're just going to go ahead and do our tests. Because that's what our tests are for, to get that information. So I was so I can't even do it, but it was so condescending. Anyways, I left that appointment feeling so completely humiliated by the staff announcing to everybody why I was there in the first place. I was completely humiliated about the fact that, you know, I'm this grown woman coming in here asking these people to help me get pregnant, and I can't even sit still during a pap smear. I was so embarrassed about that. And then the fact that she got mad at me, so obviously not a lot of people have that issue with pap smears except for me and my bratty self. And then after I get dressed, she comes back in and she goes, well, I'm not going to lie to you. The way you just behaved with that pap smear test, she's like, if you can't even handle that, she's like, the HSG is going to be terrible. She's like, it's going to hurt. And I'm just putting it out there just so you know, it's going to hurt. I'm like, thanks. I was already really, really, really terrified of it, but thanks for clarifying that it will definitely be terrifying. So anyways, that was my thing today. We went in there to get blood results from the other blood tests she did. She really didn't tell me anything about my results other than I specifically asked her if I was still anemic, and she said no, I'm on the low end of normal, but still normal. If I continue taking prenatal vitamins, I'll be normal. But other than that, she didn't give me any answers from my blood work, and she didn't do Neil's semen analysis, and I had a horrible pap smear. I'm going to start part 2 now, okay?